Yo, bartender.
Bar's closed.
Hey, yo, bartender, what's good, man? Let me get a drink, man. Let me get a shot.
Hey, man, I know you just pulled up to the bar, but we closed.
Come on, man. You gotta be able to give me a shot, man. Come on.
You look like you need a drink, man, but I hate to tell you this, man. We about to close.
So you mean to tell me all these people out here, they got drinks and they got shots, but I can't get nothing. The bar closed that soon?
Okay, man, I don't know what else to say. I got this shorty, half my age, at the crib, and I'm trying to get to it. But last call was 10 minutes ago.
You know what? It's all right. Don't even worry about it.
All right, tell you what, I'm gonna get you one drink. Cause it look like you now.
One drink? All right, I can do one drink. Cause I really, yeah.
Hey, man, anything, man. Look like you got a lot on your mind and you need a friend right now. Pour it on me. Ain't no last calls here.
Bar Talk with Jay.
Welcome to Bar Talk with Jay. Welcome. One of the things I'm brought to you by is Go Green. This is a great company that's doing big things that's out there in Hiram and PA. They motivate to do more of the advertising and get things going in the direction that they need it to go. And guess what? I'm motivated to do it. I'm not just doing a show. I do multiple things, and one of them is getting that trash away from you. That's right. Too much trash at your crib, and Go Green can get it away. Why? Because I'm the GP, and I'm going to tell you. I'm going to make sure. You never know. I might be the one drive up in the truck to get it away from you. But give us a call. You can call me in person. 770-286-7526. And I can make sure that stuff goes away from you. That's right. Take Go Green. Now, gotta get back to this show. And this show brings in a person that's been with me 8 years, coming in each and every time with a smile. Pragmatic, how you doing tonight, Big K?
Doing good, Smooth J.
Man, we want to know why you still smiling, player.
Just the spirit I have, man.
That's a little spirit, man.
Yeah, man.
I mean, you've been holding on for a long time, man. You can't fake that. They say fake till you make it. You gotta glow. You keep a glow.
I wonder why people don't smile.
Oh, they got all kinds of reasons. You seen this accountant lately? I see my birthday bill. Hell, I want for it. You see my electric bill. That low bill.
Ain't no reason to smile.
Okay.
So they are not valid reasons not to smile.
Yeah, sure.
Being broke is a reason. It's not a reason not to smile.
Yeah, keep taking my money. And I wasn't smiling about it. But you are right. I'll allow things to affect me.
Cannot let worldly things get in the way of
You're right.
peace, your mind,
You're right.
and your clarity, your interpersonal love of self. And that's what's happening in the world.
Yes.
It's things and stuff that's causing people to be dissatisfied with themselves and their life.
Stay it again.
And your sense of self is not based on any of those things.
I know. And I know better. Things don't always do better.
Well, and that's the thing. We all have to try a little harder.
Mm-hmm.
And that means we gotta have a little more understanding. We gotta have a little more wisdom. We gotta take a little bit better care of ourselves, et cetera, et cetera. But you cannot let being broke cause you to always be stressed out.
Mm. I like that.
Right.
I do. Because I think I do allow that to affect it. It doesn't always make me frown. Or just more plain. But I will tell you, I looked at that high electric bill, Georgia Power, and it's just growing higher and higher in the summer months because it's been so hot, And one of the things I got to tell you is I've been blessed enough to be able to pay.
Yeah, see, here's the thing, right? In order to not let worldly challenges affect your personal spirit,
Mhm.
you have to detach in some way, right?
Mm.
One of the things that I play in my head and not to say that I don't have challenging financial times,
Okay.
right? But I remember this passage in the Bible that says, "Give Caesar what belongs to Caesar."
Remember that.
And what that's really saying is, don't worry about all this stuff. The Lord's gonna always make sure that you got what He gonna always take care of you. He gonna always make sure you're fed. And when you think about it, He always has.
Mm.
There has never been a time you could look over your shoulder and think that you didn't get through. Right?
Right.
That's gotta strengthen your spirit in a certain way that you're not concerned about these things that are taking place around you. Right? Part of the problem is we live too much in the world.
Yes.
and we have no spirit, and we lose our sense of spirit, the spirit of freedom, the spirit of joy, the spirit of laughter, the spirit of harmony and peace.
Yes. Yes.
They exist without measure. They are absolute. They are not relative. They are available no matter what the circumstance, no matter what the situation. They're not based upon whether you know what you're doing in the world and what you have and what you don't have. And I think we just all need to get a little more spiritual. That'll help you take your eyes off of the troubles of the world, right?
Mm-hmm.
There are some people who are sitting in their living room today,
No doubt right now.
who were watching the news last night, and they think that the world is coming to an end.
Mm.
Their mindset is it's doom, it's gloom, the economy's bad, you can't find no good man or woman in this world. You know, everything is high. You know, I'm lonely. It's, you know, they got guns in the street and everybody's drug. But that's not reality. That's your perception of reality, okay, right? Because you know, I live a great life, and I'm in the same world that you are in.
Mm-hmm.
So that means that something has to be different.
Okay.
Jay, no matter what's going on in the world, you are grinding toward the bag.
Correct.
It doesn't matter what they say about the economy. It doesn't matter who's the president. It doesn't matter the exchange rate. It doesn't matter what the currency is.
Nope.
He on his grind to make things happen.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's the spirit of life in us. You know, I'm just big on the fact that, man, we oftentimes wallow in nonsense, and we take away our own good. We take away our own joy. And enough of that.
But
Enough of that. We got to stand in the gap of life.
I want to make sure all the ladies know that's why you good. All right.
Yeah.
That's what that came from. You know, he corrected me about why he always smiling. And again, I don't always smile. And that's what he just showed me.
And we're going to get you on that program.
That's right.
Let's see you smile real quick.
Okay. You know what I'm saying? All right. I'm around that bull.
Yeah.
And again, I'm enlightened, and thank you.
You're welcome, man.
Boy,
Let's introduce our show. This is Bar Talk with Jay.
Yes.
My name is Crab Manic. This is my boy Smooth Jay.
Yeah.
We are here to liberate your minds and souls with a fabulous dialogue.
Yes.
We just chop it up on the subject. And of course, what happens in the process is some wisdom comes out.
Mm-hmm.
Some understanding happens. Something changes in us that causes us to be a little stronger on the path that we're on or that we need to be on. And so we want you to grow. We want this to be somewhat therapeutic. Tonight's topic is what drives people apart. Perhaps what is driving people away from you? How are you repelling maybe good people in your life? One of those topics that we all have to check ourselves a little bit.
Yeah.
Because you, each of us, we may be pushing people away from us and kind of unaware. And what that requires is change. It requires me to change myself so that I don't push people away from me. And so we're glad that you folks are here, and we hope that you enjoy this program. We always start the show off with a prayer. And I'm just going to hand it over to the Lord, y'all. Heavenly Father, we come into your presence just to thank you once again for all that you are. Yes, to thank you for your spirit of wisdom and for your grace and for all the good that you reveal unto us.
Yes.
We're asking Heavenly Father now to correct us in a way that helps us to understand how we are pushing opportunities and people and love and even joy away from us. Show us, Lord, how to attract more love, how to attract more good people, how to attract more good, a positive environment, and a better life in every area of our life. We don't want to push things away from us, Lord, unless they are divinely designed to be pushed away. Sometimes, Lord, we push things away that we thought were really good, and that became something less than really good, and we're not sure if that was the right thing to do or not. So we're asking for your intelligence and wisdom and understanding on having good people in our lives and having healthy relationships. Be with us in this show, speak through us as hosts, and allow your good work to be done. In Jesus' name we pray.
Amen.
Amen.
Man. Woo, I felt that one.
Yes. And so
Talk to the soul on that. I like that. I like that.
You know, in the middle of the prayer,
Mhm.
I'm thinking to myself, how many good people and good opportunities for love
Mhm.
have I pushed away from?
Oh my goodness.
And I wonder if it's many or if it's just a few.
I think that one right there will probably will never really know. But I like to say sometimes it's necessary for growth. That's how you grow. You have some people in your life. And I like to say I had several where I felt like that's the person that's probably always gonna be there. And it didn't turn out to be. Did I do some things to help sabotage that? I like to say yes. And also there's some times where I did. But my whole thing is the whole ownership of the fact that I at least had that love in my life that made me keep going. It hurt at that time. And it was like an old school song, you know, better to have love than never been loved at all. And I really feel that because that helped me understand what love was. Because when you're young, you really don't get it until you in it.
You don't get it.
Yeah,
I mean, even when you're in it, it's hard to get it.
figure it out. It's not easy.
Um, have you ever had to push somebody away who cared about you?
Yes. It was a situation where she became too toxic. And
Toxicity
and,
drives people away from you.
and I didn't notice it at first because I cared so much for the person. I didn't see all the jealous ass ways, um, the controllingness that person wanted to have over me. I just thought, something, I have to push hard to make it work because I had a lot of failed relationships in the past. So I want this one to work. I'm so driven to make it work. I stopped seeing the things that would probably make me not see her the way I end up seeing her. So I went into it cold-heartedly where it's going to work. And I'm just finding a way. I'm plotting and planning to see it work. Then all of a sudden, I'm starting to get attitudes and I'm starting to get a lot of pushback and a lot of arguments over things that I didn't think we should have around to argue about. And I'm not a person that can argue. So then I got this person that act like she angel and this mug is in my face like a thief. And it's not nothing major I've done at all. But she want to make sure her voice is heard, but you don't have to stand over me to do that. So I start seeing these ways, and I'm a person that's not caring for violence. And I don't want nobody to bring it to me. So I had to calm that situation down. Too many times for me to say, that's the person for me. Because once we have this talk, and I let you know, I'm going to give you a little moment, think about it, let alone me, because you said what you had to say. I took that in, and I come back calmly, and we talk about it. And you still later on blow up again. We have a problem, Houston. This rocket ain't going to take off.
And I think you said it just perfect. You said this person became toxic. And the notion, the question is, did she become toxic, or did you just lose your patience for her toxicity? Because it may have been there early in the game. It was clouded by like, love, sex, things.
And I said that.
Right.
I went
It
in
was
there.
there all at the beginning.
It really was.
Yeah.
But I jumped over it when I had that in my head, what I want. So I wanted it, so I ignored them signs. I ignored a lot of things that I really should have took my time to get to know. I jumped forward past it because I've been through so much. I just said, this is the one. So let me try, right? And put a lot more effort. And then I lost me as my sight to hear and understand. I was driving this way, not hearing, but it didn't take long to get up in front of me.
It didn't take long.
With that same bull to make me realize, wait, I got to hit the brakes now.
Well, see, the toxicity got hit.
Right.
And I like what he said, Jay. He jumped over. He ignored it.
Mhm.
He saw it in the very beginning.
Mhm.
It was there in the very beginning. In fact, the toxicity probably didn't change from the beginning to the end, but his patience wore off.
Yes, quickly.
Right. And so, we just had a show about why you should get married.
Mhm.
And in the same question, we were asking maybe why you shouldn't get married.
Mhm.
That sometimes people have these things and stuff, and it may take you a little while to understand them, but when you understand them, you cannot ignore them anymore.
No.
because those are the things that are going to challenge the relationship. Those are the things that are going to push you apart. And so, you know, kind of what happens here is we make decisions. You heard Jay say it. He said, I made a decision. I've been through a bunch of nonsense, a bunch of failed relationships. This relationship, I'm going to make work. Thank you. But it wasn't the right relationship to make that decision. So now he's made a decision to deal with some bullshit that ain't his. But the truth has to be revealed, right? At a certain point, I met a gentleman the other day, and he said that his wife had become toxic. Like she was toxic, had become toxic. He said he walked away from a 38-year marriage.
Wow. That's a long time.
And he said he was on his way home one day, and he had not had any joy for a long time in his own household. I mean, for years they weren't intimate. You know, they weren't enjoying trips and dinners or anything together. And he said on his way home, he had had enough. And when he got home, he told her just like that, I've had enough. And so don't worry about the plans that we had. The house is yours, the car is yours, anything else you want, it's yours. I'm out. I'm out, right? It took him 38 years, but and that guy, what hurts my spirit is that for 20 years he probably spent miserable. He chose to be in a miserable environment for many years. And she may have felt the same exact way, right? You know, as much as we want somebody in our life, we cannot force feed love. You cannot force feed a relationship. You cannot force feed somebody to be with you and like everything that you do and agree with everything that you say. And it's impossible. You're living a fantasy. It's a fallacy. And I'm a big proponent of not living with the fallacy in your mind, right? Think about this, that we all grow up seeing loving relationships. And then we all start wanting loving relationships. And so we see these loving relationships, we're wanting these loving relationships, and then we get into a relationship, you know, then we start catching the reality of it all, and then it starts to dwindle. Right? The desire for it starts to dwindle, the experience of it starts to dwindle, and yet sometimes we stay there. We stay there after the excitement is dwindled. We stay there, and there's nothing wrong with staying there because I think anything that may be challenging is worth it.
Correct.
You know, if you can overcome the hurdle, the struggle would have been worth it. I think to have somebody in your life, I've already accepted the idea that I'm just seeing what happens in an open relationship. I'm going to have to make a very, very intentional decision about the woman I marry. And when I make that decision, I'm going to have to stand on it, even though it starts to get tough.
Oh, yeah.
Right? I'm going to have to stand on it, even though there starts to be some things I don't like.
Okay.
Right?
I think that's some good stuff to tell a person.
Yeah.
Everything is not perfect.
It's not going to be easy.
Yeah.
Listen, a relationship with a loved one is tough. But just think about how challenging the relationships are with your boss.
I know.
Or your best friends.
Co-workers.
Or your mother. Or whoever, right? They're not easy. Relationships are not easy because you have two people who are growing 360 degrees by 360 degrees every single moment of every day. And you're not going to see eye to eye, you're not going to balance, you're not going to come together on many things, right? In some cases, you're going to be controlled, manipulated. And in some situations, you're going to have to control and manipulate. Right? Okay. That's how people get through relationships, right? I'm going to have to give up something in order to get something, right? Or vice versa. So we just have the wrong understanding about relationships.
Right.
What pushes someone away from you, what pushes people away from me is they have no interest in what I think or how I feel. That may be an idea like selfish people. The people who aren't interested in the why. They just want what they are, right? The why has rationale, right? We see men who are very prosperous,
Right.
who attract women, who are attracting women because of their prosperity. Right. And they, you can take them on trips, you can take them to dinner, you can buy them nice things, and they will fall in love with you because of that. Right. They will start to like you, they will want to be with you because of that. But at a certain point, you're going to wonder how they're pouring back into you. Right. And so
If at all.
if at all, right. And so I'm of the notion that, if I take someone out 2 or 3 times, I'm interested in seeing how they're going to respond to the bill.
Right.
I don't care about you paying the bill now, but I do care that you are watching me spend hundreds of dollars, and it takes hours and weeks to make these hundreds of dollars, $1,000. You're watching me just pour money out, and you have no concern about where it's coming from and how much. Well, maybe you just spent $4,000 on a trip. No, I'm gonna cook tonight, or we're gonna, we're gonna do something different. We're gonna do something like. I want to know that you're caring about me, say, and don't you want to know that I'm caring about you, right? Don't you want to know that you feel horrible when your hair's not done?
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you.
And I probably need a better example of that, but I need to be caring about the things that are important to you. Just like I want you to care about the things that are important to me. What's that, Jay?
Yeah, me on that one. Yeah, you gotta explain it over later. You're alone on that one. One of my biggest ones is respect.
Respect. Okay. Disrespect.
When I'm getting a lot of disrespect, it really challenged me. To really stay with me. I love it when I see respect. Respect about what I'm trying to do, what I'm trying to accomplish, and how you can try to add value to that. That's great respect. Respecting the things that I have going on around me, let alone my mother, my kids, you know what I'm saying? Just like I have to do the same thing. It's a give back. But that respect, when it's not being shown in the name calling, and a lot of the stuff that we just know ain't right is still being done, gets back to some of that toxic ways. These are the things that push you completely away from us.
Yeah, and you said something. You alluded to kind of my goals, my career. That it's so important that the woman in my life supports my career.
Oh my God, yes.
Because my career is what I was born for. It's my passion. It's my purpose. And if you don't support that, it takes something away from us.
Say it again.
Right. So I married this beautiful woman 20, nearly 30 years ago. And when she met me, I was in sales.
Okay.
And what people oftentimes can't see in a salesperson world is that sales is 100% commission. And so I'm with my wife and kids 3, 4, 5 years. I'm 100% commission. And so when I start talking about her, I'm working jobs,
Okay.
but sales is sales, right? When I start talking to her about running my own business, and it's time to make that transition, that she's not making the connection between I've already been 100% commission.
Right.
This 100% commission is no different. It's just a different product.
Right.
I got to create a different process. I would like for you to help me, because what's going to happen is we can make $10,000 to $20,000 a month out of our living room, and we can pick up our kids from school every day, and we can travel and
And more income.
So, but her mindset from her history, her parents, her friends and family, is you worked at a job for 30 years
And retire.
and then you retired. And you pay your taxes every year, and you just go on and move through life. But here I am, 27, 28 years old. I'm like, I'm not trying to work for nobody for 30 years.
Say
I
it.
need to be an entrepreneur. She wasn't really feeling that. She followed my lead, but she was very much incongruent with it in her spirit. That pulled us apart. So here I am wanting to I won't say take more risks, but try more things, build more income, variety, etc., diversify my income, etc. She wants me to go to work and make a stable income. And I understand the mentality. I just want I want the same $3,000 a month coming in, the same $5,000 a month coming in, so I can count on what I count on. But if you if you go into that position, it's hard to grow.
Right.
At least for a person like me, I'm trying to constantly grow. Damn, a $3,000 and $5,000. Let's get to a place where we can make $30,000 and $50,000 a month, and I can go play golf when I want to play golf. Because I don't want to work 70-hour work weeks for somebody else to support you and yours, and yet leave my own dreams and desires on the table. So one of the things that can push people away from us
Yes.
is that they're incongruent with who we are and incongruent with our goals and aspirations in life. If you don't find somebody who thinks like you think and operates like you operate and move like you move, you're going to be missing the mark.
And I agree with that.
Right? And one of the perfect examples I think about and this is one side of just thinking about men and women, that women are attracted to men who are outspoken and individuals. You know what I'm saying? Go getters, fast paced, talk a lot of noise, you know what I'm saying? Chop it up with you, don't meet no strangers, you know what I'm saying? Movers and shakers, right?
Right.
But the spirit of a mover and a shaker can get annoying to that woman over time. You always up in somebody's face. You always talking to somebody. You always want to go out. You always on the move. And what she wants to do is she's on invite. She wants to. But the thing that attracted her to you is now the thing that gets on her greatest nerves.
Say it.
You see what I'm saying?
Oh, I know what you said.
That happens so often.
Too often.
Right? This dude, he buck wild, he going out every night, been partying for like a rock star for years.
Right.
He met this sweet little woman. And what she likes to do is knit, crochet, and she might like to read, and she likes to spend quality time with family, and he want to go out and ball out of control. But he was so attracted to this sweet, beautiful, quiet, clean-cut woman.
Mm-hmm.
But what he been handing all these years is these fast-paced women when they, you know what I'm saying, like to wear tight stuff and, like to be on the move as much as he knew, et cetera, et cetera. Eventually, that's not going to work. Because she going to be like, okay, you a little too out there. I'm not even sure I can introduce you to my parents. You know what I'm saying? You going to come to dinner with your shirt wide open and you ain't going to be unshaved and you ain't going to be on time.
You laugh on that one, but okay.
But the point is that opposites do attract.
Yeah.
But when you attract the opposite at a certain point, the opposite becomes incongruent. The opposite is, that's why it's sometimes hard to find good people, because you really need to find somebody running in the same circle in similar patterns. But yeah, we find people who are quite the opposite. I mean, how often have we seen the bad boy end up with the good girl and end up really hurting her because he's doing some silly shit? You know what I'm saying? He cheating, running the streets and all this. All she want to do is hold hands and walk in the park. And he ass out, right? It doesn't work. So what drives people away from you is that they're not who you are, and they probably shouldn't be in your life. We're making decisions to bring people into our life who are not like us, and it can, over time, get on our last nerves.
And I like to say some of the things that can also keep you together is having that interest in another person. Where I might be a mover and a shaker and I'm making things happen, but it doesn't make me make her feel less. So I have to say, oh, you know something? She likes to cook.
Right.
So we're going to go places where she can get the different foods and take her to a nice restaurant. But it's not to wow her. She likes to taste the food, but she can go back and copy, right?
Yeah.
So she don't want you to spend a lot on. She just wants us to eat good, all right? But you have to take that time to put that interest into what she like, because she's pouring into you. She's making sure you look good. She's making sure you out there doing your very best. Now, you don't give her nothing. She's going to go empty.
You know what, Jay? I'm always beating myself up about the marriage that I could have had with my ex-wife, right? I'm always kind of saying these things to myself. I said to myself just the other day, I said, I was so busy grinding. I was so busy taking care of my family. I don't believe I said the words, I love you, to my wife enough. Like, I loved her. I loved her.
Right.
But she needed to hear it more. And I didn't say it as much as I probably should have, right? So I'm taking ownership that I may have missed the mark. right there. And I don't even know where I came up with this thought, but I know I was saying I love you to her in my mind because she just lost her mother a few days ago. And I communicate spiritually kind of in a meditation type scenario. And I know people can hear you and understand you even from afar. So I'm telling her in my mind that I love her. And then I come back to the idea, well, you know what? I may not have said that during our marriage. God, these days you got to check yourself, right? You got to get better at that. Sometimes I drive, and here's the notion. Sometimes you drive people away from you because you don't do what you're supposed to do.
I can see that.
Right. And that comes down to cheating and how you spend the money and whether you take care of the house. You have to care about the things that they care about.
Boy, you said you're gonna do something and you don't.
Yeah.
She has to trash out. You don't do it.
Yeah.
You know, you're supposed to fix the window.
Absolutely.
And you just totally drop it. It ain't like you get called somebody and fix it.
Right.
You don't do nothing.
Right. Yeah. And what a woman definitely needs to see is that you're paying attention to the things that she's concerned about.
Oh yes.
That's very important, fellas. If you never get anything else out of this show,
And you drop her nuggets.
if she mentions that she likes red, if she mentions that she likes flowers, if she mentions that she wants to go on a trip, if she mentions that you need to be following up with, hey, I know you mentioned you want to go on a trip. Where you want to go?
Thank you.
You ain't got to say, let's go. You went, I'm interested in what you're interested in. Oh, I saw you looking at a magazine at the doctor's office the other day, so I bought you 3 magazines. I bought you 3 magazines. I was at the store the other day. I was thinking about what you want. I was thinking about how to fulfill you. Oh, I know you like chocolate at night before you go to bed. You like to eat lunch. So you know what? I brought you a piece of candy. Right. I know you watching your weight. So rather than buy sodas, I bought some Crystal Light. We gonna start I made you a picture of Crystal Light.
We gonna walk together.
Right. I made you a picture of Crystal Light. Right. That shows that you care, man. Those kind of things attracts people. Those kind of things say, I care about what you care about. I want for you what you want for you. In fact, whatever you tell me you want, I'm gonna make sure you get it.
Say
right. And I'm gonna tell you, I met a man this week. I'm in the car business, right? And so I met a man over the phone. He's actually living in Montana, but his wife and kids are in Stone Mountain.
Okay.
Right. And his mother said to him this week, God makes $500,000 a year, right?
Okay.
So his mother said to him, you know what? For the last years, all I've been seeing you doing is take care of everybody else. You done got your wife, everything she wanted. You done put the kids, everything, to school, and they got all the extras in life. She said, I don't never see you do anything for yourself. You should take some of that money. She said, some of all that money you made and do something for yourself. He said he thought about it that night. He woke up the next morning and called me.
Okay.
And what does he want? He wants a Yukon Denali XL. He wants a Yukon Denali Ultimate, it's called, right?
Okay.
$110,000 vehicle. He said, this is what I'm going to do for myself. And Mr. Rapp, I want you to help me get this taken care of. So his wife is like, yeah, honey. No, obviously, he's taking $100,000 out. But you know what I'm saying? She might be like, you crazy.
How you gotta get down?
But she called me and she said, listen, he is the most superb husband. I imagine what makes the most superb husband is that he lives 1,000 miles away. And I ain't got to deal with his bullshit every day. I ain't got to have his socks all over the place. I ain't got to pick up behind him. I ain't got to cook for him. So there probably is some gravy in that. Again, talk about ideal relationships.
Yes.
But here's a man, but here's a man and a woman who seem to have some understanding going on, right? And she can see that he's been taking good care of her. She wants him to have nice things. And he said, man, she does stuff for me all the time. She send me clothes and she send me care packages and she come to see me, all kinds of stuff. So I think people living with people, you have to be empathetic.
I agree.
You have to always, I don't care if it's a marriage, I don't care if it's a business relationship, I don't care if you're just friends, I don't care if you're stuck in an elevator. You're going to have to pay attention to what the people around you need and want as well. If she's cold, turn the air down. Give her your jacket. do something, right? But you can't sit there and act like it's not happening because now you're showing that you could care less about what's happening to her. There are 100,000 examples of what we could all do to satisfy the other people around us. Sometimes when I see it's 2 o'clock and my boss hasn't eaten lunch, I'll go in there and say, "Hey, did you get something to eat?" He said, "No." I go grab him some Wendy's. It takes me 10 minutes and $5. And I come back and he can last the rest of the day.
Sure.
And I'm not concerned whether he does my deals or treat me any special. I'm just concerned that, hey, my tight boy here hasn't had lunch. Let me go make sure I hook him up. Or I go and get lunch and I cut sandwich in half, come in here and say, "You want some of that?" He reach in there and grab it. Listen, he reached in there and grabbed it one day before I asked him if he wanted it.
Oh, no. Wait a minute.
Right. But he knows I'm a friend indeed, right? I come in with a bag. "What you got there?" "Man, I could use one of Gatorades." The next day, he'll come with a 6-pack because we're caring for one another. Caring for one another draws people close to you and can shows love, and it
And obviously, just
something about that. I really think that is the only way our world will truly operate and make it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Whether it be eternity or if we ain't got but 100 years here on earth, the only way we make it is by being together, right? The white folk need to take care of the black folk, and the black folk need to take care of the white folk. You see how I'm applying the same concept? It can be applied anywhere, right? The healthy people need to take care of the sick folk, and the sick folk need to take care of the healthy folk, right? If you got some shit that healthy folks shouldn't be around, stay outside. Right? Don't invite them over. Da 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 da. Again, we can go 100 examples, but the point is we have to take care of each other.
I agree.
Takers lose every single time,
I'm gonna give you one more.
and takers kill as well. What, Jim?
The one I'm gonna give you now that can push you away is social media.
Okay.
And again, it could be a great tool to utilize, but when you stay on it, you give it more attention than the person that you're dealing with. It can cause a lot of jealousy. And then people put their business out there on social media. Like it's really gonna fix the relationship when don't nobody give two farts about what you putting out there, really. And I really see it happens a lot. My whole thing is to utilize it, to use it for your benefit. If you are on, like us, we on a podcast. So I don't want nobody not to listen to me, but I don't like for you to listen to me and then put it down. Because again, if you watch our show, I like to say there's some great things I want you to be able to put down the phone and have that conversation with the person. I don't really feel like y'all should keep scrolling so you can keep getting a lot of nonsense in your head, because a lot of people putting stuff out there that's not going to help you. I really feel like it's too much information, it's overload, you ain't doing nothing with it. And then you're wasting a lot of your time. And then some people feel like it must be something in that phone or somebody that got your interest. And it might not, I don't know. Because I don't know who I'm talking to. I can only tell you I scroll for certain content. I don't really scroll to find somebody. I don't go on Instagram to find out. I don't have to do all that. My whole thing is I got more drive and things I got to get done that I don't really have time. Not saying nobody need to post their pictures. Y'all do whatever makes you happy. Just understand there's going to be a lot of people that don't take the time to do all that. Because when you got a drive in you and you driving for something, you don't take time for all the stuff that takes you away from your purpose, your passion and your purpose. I cannot keep doing what don't get me to where I want to be. But a person that see you, they know that. They don't even really question all that. They really just question more about where were you at your goals. They ask you questions other than your phone. Why do so many people call you? In business, it's going to happen. But I can put that phone down and still pay you some attention. I don't have to let it rule me. I will always want a person to feel important outside this phone, because everybody can't get a hold of it. Sometimes it don't seem like it's my phone stay going. But I promise you, when I get on my bike, I got a Bluetooth headset. I'll ever put that thing on. I ride to get away from everything. I will tell a person, yo, I'm on my bike. Call you back later. My whole thing is to ride and enjoy life. And this is a hindrance. If more people would sit there and give me their problems, their issues, and take me away from where I'm trying to go, just to hear them talk and complain, when I could be happy, enjoy.
Yeah, another thing that drives people apart or that will drive people away from you is that you don't give them space.
Oh, yeah.
You ever have somebody who just always want to be up under you? Not only do they always want to be up under you, but they're always listening, in your phone. They want to see what's going on. They're asking you about your bit.
Too much.
Like, no, you just really gotta find that happy medium. Somebody who's, by the way, you mentioned jealousy. Jealousy is simply, I want to have what you have, or I don't want you to have what you have, right? And so there again, somebody who's incongruent with you, right?
I do. Gotta be on the phone with you all the time.
Yeah.
Can't trust with you by yourself because you might be doing something crazy.
Yeah. That will drive people who don't trust.
Oh my goodness.
That will drive you crazy.
Because they think you don't see that.
They think you're always doing something.
No,
So in essence, whether they say it or not, they really got this accusation constantly going. I think you're doing this. I think you're doing that. I think you're not being right with me. I think you talked to somebody else. I think you haven't said somebody. And so they may not say it,
right?
But body language says so much more than words.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So, jealousy, takers, people who talk too much, people who don't trust, people who don't give you space. There are 100 different reasons why, things that drive people apart. What's important ultimately is that you're paying attention to the people in your environment. And you have to satisfy your environment, whatever that is. Short-term relationship, long-term relationship, business, personal, neighbor, whatever. You got to satisfy the relationships. And if you satisfy it, you're not pushing people away from you. I'm saying
man, I'm gonna tell you right now, I think that right there is a highlight because it goes back to care for the person that you're with to make that long-term drive work.
Yeah.
A lot of times I used to hear that, you don't do nothing extra. You just always doing, man, just the same old thing. So guess what? You hear that through past relationships. So now you're with somebody and you try to do new things. You try to apply things that works with that person. So, and I see an interest. Yeah. When I see that in that person, be like, yo, let's go to the mountains. I hardly take vacations because I'm hard drunk. We always pushing to do things. So a lot of times we neglect ourselves when it comes to vacation. Well, I have to make sure I don't do that.
There you go.
Because I got to show her the same respect I would want her to show me. And when I love it when they try to plan it for you.
Oh, that's great.
Because you work too much. But you said this time aside for us to
be off on this day. I just need you to be off. I just need you to be with the airport.
I'm 12 on that day. I'm like a kid. I could be like, what? I don't care if I'm paying for it. I don't care.
Listen, I think we've done the subject some real justice. We are certainly out of time right now. This has been Bar Talk with Jay.
Yes.
And I want to thank you folks for being here with us tonight. Just an opportunity to be leaders in our own community.
Yep.
My name is Craftmatic. This is my boy Smooth J.
In the building.
And we hope you continue to join us every Thursday from 7 to 8 Facebook Live.
Yes.
Like, share, subscribe, bring your friends, family. This is real dialogue, real love, real truth.
Mm-hmm.
There's no reason you should come back and keep on participating in some of this good wisdom.
Yes.
Never forget that we do this because we love you. We appreciate you. And with that, we are out.
Ain't no last calls here.
Bar Talk with Jay.